Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very, very well. I'm quite annoyed at myself, to be honest, because I have not posted a proper YouTube video in what feels like forever. I think it's been like a month or so, but I've just been very, very busy with obviously still posting, but posting the podcast stuff. The podcast has been taking up a lot of my time, along with then just not really having much time alongside that with everything else going on to also film YouTube videos, which I've been a little bit annoyed about because I actually really enjoy doing like the YouTube videos that I film myself, that I edit myself. I find them a lot of fun, and also they always give me an opportunity to give something valuable to you guys where I feel as though I can share something as well. The main thing is that I'm back with another video now, hopefully something good to show you guys in this video as well, as I'm actually venturing out of my usual environment and habitat, which is fairly uncommon for me as well, so nice to actually show something different. Today is actually a rest day. Filming this today because of the fact that tomorrow we are traveling down to Lacoach, so tomorrow likely won't have very much time to do a lot of filming before we get there, because it's going to be a little bit of a rush to just make sure I can get like work done, prep meals. Yeah, so I'm not actually sure where I was there, but I just lost all storage on the camera, so I've just spent about 10 minutes trying to individually delete all my clips. There's probably a much faster way of doing so, but I have absolutely no idea how to do that, so apologies for having to re-interlude back into this. Clearly, the recording it's going well so far, so we'll keep on this positive roll. Tomorrow we are going down to Cambridge. We'll obviously be setting off a little bit earlier than we usually would be doing to get to the gym. I think it's about a 3-hour drive to get down there, so just got to make sure that food and everything is ready to go before we go down. Yeah, going down to train with my client Anna tomorrow, and a couple of my other clients also train there as well, so gonna be seeing them, probably going through a little bit of their training as well and going through some posing too, so really looking forward to doing that and catching up with them. That will be lovely, and hoping to film a little bit of that session and a little bit of that stuff for you guys in this episode as well, so I can show you some different things. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and appreciate the rest of this rest day. It has been quite a long rest day. Been doing obviously a lot more work than I usually would do. I'm gonna try and have some time to switch off now. I also just realized that was so rude. I should have said a huge thank you to everyone who has been listening and watching the podcast, because it means so much to me. I've had so many people message me on Instagram, just saying that they're really enjoying it and how much it means to them and how certain episodes have really affected them, and it's amazing to hear, because it is something that I do obviously put a lot of work into. I obviously love doing it as well, because it's amazing to talk to all these people that like I can't believe that I get to sit down and have a conversation with, but to share that and then to hear that it's helping people, or that people are even just enjoying it, is amazing. So yeah, thank you so much. And by the way, if anyone has any requests for any like future episodes or things that they'd like me to do as well, just let me know in the comments, or feel free to pop me a message and I'll definitely get on those. Good morning everyone, it is now Friday. I am just out on a nice morning walk. It is about 6 AM. I'm currently just waking up and going on a nice long walk, or obviously on a rest days doing cardio at the moment, just due to me being within this diet phase, which is something that I'll probably cover in another video. The walk, need to get a good amount of steps in, because I'm going to be sat in the car for probably 6 hours today. So yeah, I need to get moving, but I'm really enjoying getting out, going on these walks, especially in the morning, because I'm just feeling so much better for doing so. I just feel so much more awake. I feel so much more energized. Of course, that comes in part with just being in the diet anyway, but it's just a really nice start to the day, and I'm so blessed to live in such a beautiful area as well, where I can come out and before I start a day of work, I just have wonderful kind of like peace of mind. which is really good. But that's not to say that you can't do it anywhere else, because I've lived in a city before and I've got up and I've done my morning walks. I've like walked to the park or just walked around, and you can still get the same sort of like headspace, but it is definitely very, very special here. So yeah, just enjoying this now. Gotta go back and do obviously a few more like check-ins, bits of work that I didn't get through like yesterday that I just need to do this morning before we go. Just need to get meals and stuff ready, make sure that all of our stuff is ready to go before we leave this morning, which will be lots of fun. So that's the plan in the meantime, and I'm sure I will probably update you guys once we get around to leaving, or get in the car or get to the gym, wherever we are then. Alright guys, so here we are at La Coach. You will probably not be surprised at all that I forgot my camera on the way down, which is, yeah, super ideal, and it was a really long journey to get here, so I did have to actually film everything on my phone, which is why you're going to see training footage appear like this. So I'm just going to talk you through this session and give you a little bit of reasoning why we've done certain things here. Honestly, this gym is so good. If you live near Cambridge, or honestly even if you just get the chance to have a little bit of a trip down, absolutely recommend giving this place a visit, because it's awesome. They've got some amazing kit. The guy who owns the gym, Nathan, has clearly put so much effort into actually getting good pieces of kit and putting the gym together well, and it really shows. So this was an awesome session. Trained with my lovely client Anna here, as you can see, giving me a wonderful spot. This was on the Cybex hamstring curl. Just started off with this, following on from the adductor. Didn't film everything in the session because sometimes you just want to enjoy the session that you have ahead, but here we are on the Cybex hack then. This was the main squat pattern for the session. I've actually started doing these more frequently, just because the Smith machine has been causing me a little bit of aggro with my hip, and I haven't got the best shoulders or elbows, so getting under the bar doesn't feel amazing. Whereas here, in a nice neutral position, obviously brought my my mats with me, because being 4'10", I can't really get enough range on any hack machine really, or any squat machine, without having some form of adaptation. So brought these with me from Ultraflex. Had a great session here. I actually took a pretty solid rep PB on this. I think I got 4 reps up from my previous best, which was pretty awesome to see. So felt really good going into this. I think honestly, when you go to new gyms, no matter whether you're in a diet, no matter whether you're in off season, I think you have to just go in with the intent to obviously, you know, take your best work, but also just kind of like have fun. I think that so many people go to new gyms or go to a gym where the kit's different, and yes, I'm obviously lucky that La Coach has amazing kit. I wouldn't really travel anywhere if they didn't, but I just go in and I'm like, okay, cool. I obviously know I've got numbers on the Cybex hack, but outside of that, I'm just gonna take some good sets and have a good time. I think that whenever you have, you know, a good time when you train, you're always going to take the best outcomes from the session. So always make sure that's your number one priority. But moved on to the Cybex 45 degree here. I really like this leg press. I've only ever done this once, I think in 2020 when we went to Durham. So to do that in this session was really nice. This feels super safe for me. I take a good amount of range here that gives me enough knee flexion, that feels safe, that feels good for my quads, but not to the point where I'm taking range where I start to notice my hip shift or my lower back lifts off. I think that range is very relative to obviously mobility and, you know, femur length, torso length, etc., you know, to where it feels comfortable without you causing any lower back pain. So that's just where it feels comfortable for me, and the movement itself felt wicked. Then just doing some leg extensions. So I personally prefer to do these towards the end of my session. I have done them earlier in the session in the past, but for me at this point in time, this is where they feel good. You know, if I do them earlier, it does take away from my squatting abilities, and it actually feels worse on my knees. So for me, doing it at the end of the session where I have less load, so I have less loading potential because I've already fatigued my quads. My knees are obviously feeling safe because I've already got a good amount of blood flow into my quads as well. I just much prefer it here. So this is where I tend to position it. Obviously when I do this at Ultraflex, I have the prime leg extension, so I'm able to kind of manipulate the loading on it to match my strength profile at this point in the session. But ultimately, leg extension is a shortened challenge for the quads, so you're still going to get that challenge no matter what. But yeah, super happy with those. It was nice. I always prefer the prime stuff because I'm short and I need the adjustability, but you make do with what you have, like I said. Split squats then, just to finish off, and these are always lovely and brutal towards the end of the session, and my mat just coming in useful yet again here. So a really, really awesome session had. Was lovely to train with Anna, lovely to train in just a different environment really, and try some different pieces. And then just kind of capped off the session with a nice bit of posing with Ruby and Ree as well, who are two of my other lovely clients. So we'll show you guys that in the next clip, and then I'll give you a little bit of a round off and a little bit of a takeaway to take away from this one. I'm just sat in AJ's office while I cap this video off. It's actually a couple of days later and I've not been feeling super well, so I was kind of putting off doing this final outro, and I was like, okay, I just need to get it done. So I've put myself into a fresh environment to finish this, and I want to add something a little bit more valuable at the end, and that comes through just touching upon the importance of having that relationship with your coach. And I wrote a post talking about this a little bit the other day. All three of those girls are simply like joys to coach. Like, they're amazing to be a part of the team, and they make their processes so much better through being super honest with me, being committed to the process, being able to give me really, really good feedback, and just being also very committed to the longevity of the process as well. You know, like myself and Rhea have been working together for a year and a half. Me and Anna have been working together for almost a year now. Ruby is set towards long-term competing goals, as is Anna. So, you know, they're all people who have amazing goals, but are also very aware of the importance of building that relationship with a coach, making the most of their progress, and, you know, developing that relationship just makes such a huge difference to not only your experience, but predominantly your experience, because your coach is able to coach you better as well. You know, they're able to understand what works for you. They're able to truly find out and understand your individuality, because all of us are so individual. The way that we are able to coach effectively is through understanding that individual. But it's not just a case of, okay, I know XYZ. It's like, okay, we know this, and we need to actually know now how to apply this effectively. Like, coaching is more so about having the knowledge and then having effective application of that knowledge to the individual and relative to their goals. The more that you're able to build that amazing relationship, the better that you're able to coach. They display that so well, you know, all of them. And all the girls and guys on my team know that as well. I am so passionate about seeing an individual's potential, and that comes through us building that relationship and really truly being able to make the most out of what they want to achieve, and enabling them to reach their goals as well, which, you know, Sometimes it takes longer than you think, especially if they're competitive goals. It's not a bad thing. It just means that you want to still make the most of that time that you have ahead of you, or that gap that exists between where you're at now and where that goal is, and being like, okay, this is the gap we have. What can we do to make the most of it? And how can we make this as enjoyable as possible? Because the more you enjoy that process that you're able to build upon, the more that the end result means as well. And I think that you just get more out of the day-to-day and are able to be far more present with your bodybuilding process. But yeah, that's just me going off on a little bit of a tangent about that one, really. I'm mainly just glad that I've actually been able to do a video. I'm going to get back on top of doing hopefully some more entertaining content on YouTube. I especially want to give you guys a bit more insight, especially with this diet phase that I'm entering in now, talk a little bit about that. So I'll probably do an updated full day of eating, or just day in the life, and run you through what I'm doing at the moment and give you guys some advice when it comes to diet phases, especially within off seasons as well. So if anyone has any requests or any ideas or anything like that that you'd like to see, obviously just let me know. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you have watched this video, I hope you've been able to take at least something away from it, or at least just had a little bit of entertainment whilst you're eating a meal or doing cardio or whatever it is. But yeah, thank you so much again, guys, and hopefully we'll be back with another one soon.